Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Domo. Alright, I guess I am now live. Let me do something. Yeah, that's better. So I thought I'd give you all a view of how it is I'm injecting myself with my PCSK9 inhibitor. The reason I get an inhibitor like that is that I have familial hypercholesterolemia on top of my lymphoma. So at 24 I had a heart attack. The doctors did a catheterization. They went to see what was going on, and there was nothing to repair. I was very lucky. It was at the end of a very small artery. So they gave me medications and sent me on my way, and I've been on my way for that until last year, when last year I saw a lipid specialist at Johns Hopkins, and he said, yeah, you should be put on a PCSK9 inhibitor. Science has advanced since you've had your heart attack, and now that's what we recommend people with familial hypercholesterolemia to be put on. So he has fought for me to get the medicine, and through some mistake in paperwork, my cardiologist, which was not at Johns Hopkins, got wind of that. And the first thing he told me is like, oh my God, it takes so much paperwork to get the PCSK9 inhibitor for my patients. And quite frankly, I cannot understand how difficult it is supposed to be, because at Johns Hopkins, I think my insurance company refused it initially, but there was a change in paperwork and then they accepted to cover it. So I really don't know what my cardiologist was talking about. Needless to say that my cardiologist is now my ex-cardiologist, and I've got another cardiologist who's located at Johns Hopkins and has a better handle on what I need. Because all these years I was taking, maximum atorvastatin, I was taking ezetimibe, and my numbers were okay, but they were not by any means great. It seems to me that if somebody had been on the ball with that, they would have already been talking to me about the PCSK9 inhibitor years before I saw my lipid specialist at Johns Hopkins. So that's what you're going to see today. I'm going to inject myself with my PCSK9 inhibitor. And this injection, I have to say, is a much nicer injection than what I'm going to do for the stem cell transplant. It comes in a syringe like this, and it has a little window over here that tells you when you're done injecting yourself. There's no depth setting, there's no setting at all. You just put it on yourself and press the button, and it's done. So what I'm going to do now is, maybe I should show the chat. See, no, there's nobody there. Okay. Which is not surprising because this was not scheduled ahead of time. I'm going to wash my hands with hand sanitizer. They're already cleaned in the sense that they don't have dirt on them, but as a final step, I want to use a hand sanitizer. I'm going to take my little alcohol prep towel, which is very important. You have to prep the injection area before you do it, and my injection area is going to be this arm. And then I'm going to wipe the injection site to be sure I don't get an infection from this thing. Then I take the pen. I remove the cap. Take the cap. So I remove the cap. The cap is now going to be put aside. And I take the pen like this. Put it here. Whoops. I'm trying to give you a good view of the. Put it here, and then now you have the window, but I need to see how it's going to inject. So the window is going to get yellow as it injects. So I put it here, press it real well, and then I press the button. And it's done. And the needle is protected. It doesn't, you know, I cannot stick myself on this. I'm not gonna, actually I couldn't try it. Even if I do this, I'm not gonna stick myself. There's a good space between the needle and the top of the yellow thing. And I don't know if you're gonna see that, but this was clear before, and it turned, there's a yellow piece of plastic that went all the way through. So you know, when the yellow piece is all the way through, you know you've injected yourself. And this is super easy. This is the easiest method I found. I've been instructed on how to inject myself with Copaxone because at some point they thought I had MS, and the doctor was going to prescribe Copaxone for me. I know how it works. And you have a damn depth gauge on the Copaxone syringe that you need to adjust depending on where you shoot yourself. This has no depth gauge. You just press and bang, it's done. I would rank this as the best so far that I've seen in terms of syringes. The syringes that I'm going to use for injecting the growth factor on Sunday, they're a little bit more complicated, but not that much, and there's no depth setting, so you don't risk missing your depth. The Copaxone one I rank in third. I don't know why they don't use a system like this. It seems ridiculous to me. I've been talking to people who have used it. I've been talking to people who plan to use it, and you have people that are afraid of needles or are afraid of self-injecting themselves, and you know, make it as easy as possible for the folks at home, so that they don't have to worry about hurting themselves or the people around them. I just don't get it. So with this being said, this was my PCSK9 injection, or the Praluent injection. So I say goodbye and see you in my next broadcast.